Hello, good morning from my end, everyone, and good afternoon, good day to everyone here. It's a beautiful thing to meet you all again here today, for us to come together to do what we know best how to do, to help
Yeah.
children, young people, and women eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty. Thank you guys so much. I can see a lot of us are here. Our children's mentor is right here with us, and the managing director is also here. Thank you guys so much, because there is no other thing that I know how to do but to do this, and I know that you guys too are the same. So I want to wish everyone a happy Wednesday. The word for today is wisdom. Walk
Mhm.
in divine knowledge and embrace the wonderful lessons today brings. So, thank you guys
Nice.
so much again. And we are, but first of all, let me say thank you to Mr. Ashmi Father always. And I thank God that a lot of us are doing that in the chat here, because without Mr. Ashmi Farah, I tell you, we'll not be here. And we need to
Mhm.
recognize that, because human resource is number one in everything that we do in life, but human resource embedded with the fear of the creator. That is the real human resource, and that is who Mr. Ashmi Farah stands for. We hear him talk
Mhm.
exactly that way. So let us all do the same, because if we've been called to spread the gospel or the good news, that means good character. It doesn't just mean anything, not just preaching without doing. It means talking and doing at the same time, which is what we were brought together here to do. And therefore, with everything we do, there has to be that divine intervention. Otherwise, we don't get anywhere with anything. So, and today we are in the Mantle of Hope Revolution, part 300. We are climbing little by little, from survival to leadership,
Mhm.
transforming lives through purpose driven living. From survival to leadership, transforming lives through purpose driven living. That is such an important topic. And if we look around us in our families, we look around the world, we see the people that are truly successful and are happy with their success. These are people that have survived before they become leaders, and therefore they use their platform to transform lives through purpose driven living. It has to have a purpose. If you look at Nelson Mandela, you look at Jim Rohn, you look at Dr. Maya Angelou, you look at Martin Luther King Jr., you look at Dr. Miles Monroe, you look at
Mhm.
Mr. Ashman Farah, you look at a lot of people. I look at my grandmother. Okay,
Yeah.
I look at my grandmother, and we have those people in our families, but we don't want to talk about them, because we've been so grown to look here and not here. And it is time that we begin to look from here, from within. Because if you don't look from within you want to look from out there, it's going to be difficult for you to do what you have been called to do. And this is what
Mhm.
I'm doing here in One Global Movement. And that is what we all are doing here. We look from within. Within sometimes is you first. And it is not even sometimes, a lot of time is you first, which embodies your character, which embodies your spirituality, which embodies how well you treat people, compassion, empathy, kindness, and a lot of all those good things. It starts with us. And then if you look within around you, your family, because when you do that, and then you move into your neighbors, into your communities, and then into the world, that is how things go in that order. Otherwise, we will be wasting our time. And we see Mr. Ashmufara doing just that. And that is what he brought here to us, so that we can also expand that into our various endeavors while waiting for those things that are going to come. And even if they
Mhm.
don't come, we already have it, because human resource, what we have here is the number one thing. And we need to keep working on this, instead of always saying, where is this? Where is that? Have you ever
Mhm.
asked yourself, what have you? Welcome, Melanie.
Yes.
Have, have you ever asked yourself, what have I contributed to what I am asking help from? there's always something that you can contribute. It doesn't have to be money as we think. It has to start from somewhere, and then the money just comes along to help do things in a better way. And so let us begin to look within us, within,
Mm-hmm.
from you surviving a certain situation. It doesn't have to be this big thing. All of us have survived from one thing or the other, whether we like it or not. And then before we become leaders, because we all are leaders here, and then transforming lives through the purpose driven living which we have. So this is so important. I want to thank you, Sister Yvonne, for choosing such a beautiful topic here, which is a topic that we all have to anchor ourselves on there. So before we go, as usual, we must dedicate and we must declare and decree the lives of our children in the hands of the one that created us. Otherwise, we can't do anything. Otherwise, I would not even be here speaking. I would have been long gone. And therefore, every one of us, whether we agree or not. So, whichever way you want, let us do that right now. So,
Yes.
Heavenly Father, the creator of life, the giver of purpose, and the light that guides our steps, we come before you with hearts full of gratitude, seeking your divine wisdom and strength. Lord, you have called us not just to survive, but to lead, not just to exist, but to thrive. We stand as one global movement, united in faith and purpose, dedicated to transforming lives from struggle to significance, from despair to destiny. Father, ignite within us the fire of purpose driven living. May we be vessels of hope for the hungry, light for the illiterate, and strength for the weary. Let our actions be the seeds of change that grow into a world where no child goes to bed hungry, no woman is left voiceless, and no young soul is deprived of knowledge and opportunity. We ask for your favor upon this mission of one global movement and the mission of other bigger missions that are out there, like on Passive. Open doors that no man can shut. Pour out resources, wisdom, and unwavering courage upon those who labor in this divine cause. Break the chains of poverty, injustice, and limitation, and replace them with abundance, empowerment, and grace. Lord, let the voices of the unheard rise into leadership because you have called us to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. May the hands that once struggled to survive now build legacies of transformation. Let our movement be a testimony that with faith, unity, and action, we can rewrite the future for generations to come. We surrender this mission of one global movement to you, knowing that with you, all things are possible. Strengthen us, guide us, and lead your glory, and let your glory shine through our work so that the world may see and feel that true leadership begins in service and true prosperity is found in uplifting others. Lord, we decree and we declare and we put everything in your own holy name. We ask. Amen.
Amen. Very powerful, sister. Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome, Sister Melanie.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, and today again the topic, please. We always like contribution is very good from your how you know how to contribute, and no answer is wrong here, and no one knows it all. It's always a good thing. It makes it so fun and so interactive if we contribute how you know it and how you understand, because we can only contribute from what we understand and how we know it, right? So
Yes.
please let us all contribute. So because true leadership is born when survival meets purpose. That is so true. It's not just about overcoming, but it's about empowering others to rise with you together. You're not just surviving, you're surviving to lead so that you can also help other people to do it with you together, which is what we are doing here, so that our children can be empowered in the best possible way to explore their gifts and their potential in life from the depths of survival. And I am a survivor, not just a survivor, I am a leader and an empowering person. And my sisters here too are the same. And a lot of us here are the same. There is nobody that is not surviving from something. So purpose-driven living is the bridge from struggling to significance. You struggle and then you go to significance. It transforms not just the survivors into leaders and leaders into change makers. It does so for our children. If we don't do that, our children cannot be able to do it. When survival is infused, that means when survival is put together with purpose, it breeds and it births leaders. It brings into the world leaders who turn personal victories into global movements of transformation. We've seen that from Mr. Ashman Farah. We've seen that from a lot of people that we read every day. We see that in our communities. It is you and I who have to uplift these people. You and I who have to uplift these children to use this survival and leadership mentality to be able to transform others. We don't just talk. We have to put them in action, an action that comes from here, from our heart, the good side of the heart, not the bad side, because the heart can sometimes be bad as well. So let us do that. Transforming lives begins with transforming your perspective. Always trying to change something, because if we want something to change, we are pointing fingers at somebody, or say, for instance, Ashman Farah or me or Sister Yvonne or Melanie. What have you changed? If you cannot change somebody, the saying goes, change yourself. Change your own perspective, the way you see things. You don't have to get involved in something and you're wanting that change to come from somebody when you have not taken the time to change your own perspective. It's also the same thing to say, if something is not working for you, then change the way that it can work for you and do it for the betterment of uplifting these children and the whole of humanity. So a purpose-driven life transforms scars. When you're living a purposeful life, it transforms your scars into stars, inspiring others to step out of survival mode into leadership mode. That's what we want here. And we all can do that. We have the resources. We've been so blessed and given all of these things that we can do. It survival teaches resilience. We all know that. And I am living a resilience life every day. And I am determined to say, I will, and I will, because it is possible. Yes, it can be done. It can be done. But purpose fuels transformation. When you have that purpose, it fuels your transformation of the world, focusing on women and children, turning ordinary lives that, and we are not even ordinary, except we embrace it. We are turning those lives that have been put on ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies of leadership. And leaders aren't born. They're not born. You were not born to be a leader. They are shaped by survival, forged in purpose, and driven by the vision to uplift children, women, others, the whole of humanity. From survival to leadership is a journey. You see what Mr. Ashman Farah is doing? We want it now. We want it now. We want it now. What are we doing? There are a lot of things that we can do within our capacity. Our character is number one. Our prayers, putting our hands together, is number two. Our teaching, trying to teach to see what we can do, is what is going to help him. From survival to leadership is a journey of self-discovery, where purpose becomes the compass and impact becomes the legacy. Mr. Ashman Farah is surviving right now. He's in a survival mode. What are we doing to help him survive? What are we doing? Because we know what he went through. You and I would have fallen dead, losing all those millions and all of those things. And this is teaching us that know who comes into your life. We've been giving wisdom in the book of Proverbs. Know who comes into your life. It is not people that comes and be saying good things. Even me, don't trust me. Don't trust me until you know that I'm doing the right thing. You have to be able to know, who do I interact with? Am I interacting just so I can gain a name, or just so I can benefit something? What do I want? Mr. Ashby Father brought us together without knowing us, knowing that when he does one thing, then we can take it and multiply into two and then help other people. So he's now in the survivor mode, but still leading and still championing the cause of humanity, which is what we are doing here every single day. And I thank God that it really gets into the vision of one global movement, which is all we all as humans should be doing to help to build our children, the next generation, and other people that are suffering that have not been given that opportunity to do things. So, Sister Yvonne, you chose this topic. You know exactly what you're doing. I'm going to give you the stage, but before we go, before you speak or talk on the topic for today, I think we need to always read our mission statement so that we people know what we are all about. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. So the whole focus of this vision and mission here in One Global Movement is to ensure that we set good examples ourselves and to help our children grow, we said, from survival into significance. I like that. Sometimes all you can really do is survive, because when you consider children and people running in refugee status and things like those, all they can really think of is just surviving. But once those needs are met, we're talking about now, what is your purpose for being here? Because we all have one. So the vision and mission statement of One Global Movement, which we call OGM, it will support any organization, group, or individuals that aligns with its global vision and mission, which is as follows. The mission of One Global Movement is to empower young people, children, and women worldwide with a focus on young women, providing them with tools and sustainable solutions that will help them to eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty, and build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. There it is again, leadership and purpose. We believe that every child deserves access to nutritious food, quality education, and opportunities to thrive. So, through global collaborative efforts, innovative programs, and community engagement programs, we strive to break the cycle of hunger, illiteracy, poverty, and build a future where every child can build on their hopes and dreams while reaching their full potential. Together, through divine intervention, love, and clean, safe, and valuable technology, we can create a world where no child goes to bed hungry, no child is denied an education, and no child is limited to poverty or to any condition that is not of their own making. It is possible. We have to tell ourselves that every day. Our gratitude and tribute goes always to Mr. Ashmafara for bringing this world family together for the purpose of providing solutions to all sectors of the global economy, beginning with our children. So we thank you, Mr. Mufara, and all the Unpassive Building team. We love you all, and we wish you well.
Yes.
And that is the vision and mission of One Global Movement. And so today we start with this very, very, very simple sounding, but it's very impactful topic. It says survival to leadership and transforming lives through purpose-driven living. Purpose-driven. First of all, I want to say, as always, that our Creator did not make us to just barely survive and to get by. He wants an abundant life for us. And I'm not talking about just money, because abundance doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means find what you came here to do, and that will make you happy, and that will give Him glory. That's the two-pronged thing. So before I even start, I want to read this story about Rosemary, because it highlights this power of resilience and purpose starting from survival. When Rosemary and her family fled Rwanda to Tanzania in 1994, they left behind everything they knew in search of safety and a fresh start. Now, many of us here have not experienced that. Can you imagine, right? After 3 years of living in refugee camps, 3 years in Tanzania, Rosemary and her family moved to Kenya. Rosemary was just a little girl at that time, and her mother had to support the family on her own. So she's seeing that, okay? Growing up, Rosemary never had a chance to go to school. This, however, did not limit her desire to pursue a career. And after watching countless videos of hairdressers styling their clients, she developed a passion for hairdressing. She says, I used to watch hairdressers styling clients' hair on videos, and I started following styles. Rosemary shared when we visited her salon in Nairobi, this is what she told them. To perfect her craft, she practiced braiding skills by helping at a neighbor's salon until she eventually mastered a wide range of beautiful African hairstyles. Now, that is resilience, isn't it? She didn't go to school for this. Rosemary started her business by offering mobile hairdressing services to clients in their homes. She later secured a job at a local salon and saved her earnings. Her dedication and talent quickly built her a loyal clientele, and by 2021, she had saved enough money to rent a small space to open her own salon. The income from Rosemary's business provided much needed financial stability for her family. In August of 2023, Rosemary's family met with something called, I don't know if you've heard of this, sister, but it's called Refuge Point. It's through a community navigator in Nairobi. It's a kind of a connecting point for refugees moving into the greater population. So I'll send the link if you want it. The family received stabilization services, including rent, medical, counseling, and food support. And these services enabled the family to quickly regain their economic stability, to meet their daily needs, and reduce dependency on assistance. Rosemary also participated in Refugee Point's business development skills, which is they call BDS training, where she learned essential business management skills and developed a business plan for her salon. After the training, Refugee Point provided Rosemary with a business grant, which she used to expand her salon. They took us through training and boosted my business, she says. I bought a hairdryer, gel, polish, and so on and so forth. I continued serving my clients and saved the profits to expand my business. This is what she shared when she was interviewed. There is a big difference between when I first started the business and where I am now. I used to depend on my main clients, but ever since I opened this salon, I have received clients from everywhere. Rosemary's salon has allowed her to meet her family's needs, pay her daughter's school fees, care for her young son, and she consistently saves through a local saving groups. That is what we're talking about here. Okay. She doesn't have to be on the world stage. Everybody doesn't have to know her name, but she is living a purpose-driven life.
Yes, beautiful.
Right? And so let us continue to explore this topic by seeing some of the other things that we're talking about. So what does it take? What does it take to go from survival to a purpose-driven life? Section 1, I talk about the survival mindset and what it does. What does it mean to live in a survival mode? The characteristics of survival mode is reactive thinking. You can just barely see it one little step in front of you because you have a scarcity mindset and short-term focus. And that sometimes those things are needed for survival because, as I said, if you're running for your life, and especially if you're responsible for children and everything, you just want a safe space, you want food, and you want some kind of stability, right? That's what you have at the moment. But when that is past, what do you do next? A family stuck in a cycle of poverty, prioritizing daily needs without envisioning a better future. That is what survival mode is. You don't see a change. You think where you are is where you have to stay. That's what that means. So many individuals and communities across the world struggle with this mindset due to economic, social, or cultural constraints. And that's true. We always have to remember that. Not everybody has an ability to escape as quickly as we would like to think that they can, because one mention is the refugee camp. You're not going to be doing world transforming things there.
Yep.
Right?
No,
unless you can't. You're just surviving.
Yes.
So the data on how survival focused living affects mental health, innovation, and societal progress. Here's an example. The UN reports that 10% of the global population lives on less than $2.15 a day. That's the World Bank data. Okay. So that has to be survival mode. You can't do anything great with that. I'm sorry, you can't.
Yep.
And then section 2, the power of purpose. What is purpose? And I say purpose is a guiding principle that shapes decisions, inspires action, and creates meaning. And John F. Kennedy says, efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. And that's true. Why is purpose transformative? It shifts the focus from a scarcity to abundant mindset. It builds resilience and it fosters growth. Right? And I'm always going to talk about my little Malala and what she does, right? This is her story that fits right here, right? This is what she did. I don't think she set out to become an activist and a renowned person, but she had that one drive, education for girls. And she wasn't just thinking about I don't think her own country or her own culture. I think she was thinking about everybody everywhere. Girls should be educated. That is her thing, right? Studies show individuals with a clear sense of purpose have lower stress levels and an increased sense of well-being. And this is from the Journal of Happiness Studies. This is a resource online. And then leadership as the natural progression from all of this. What is leadership? Leadership is influencing, guiding, and inspiring others to reach shared goals. It's inspiring, though. You're not forcing anybody, right? You're not going out there telling people what to do. People see what you're doing and they are drawn to that. And everybody has good things that they can do that will accrue good other people to follow them. And leadership begins with leading ourselves first.
Right.
From purpose to leadership. An example of how purpose-driven individuals naturally evolve into leaders. One of my newly discovered activist leaders is Wangari Maathai, who unfortunately is now deceased. However, her journey evolved from advocating for environmental protection to leading a global movement and eventually becoming the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. There you go. A global perspective. This is data on how purpose-driven leadership has catalyzed change worldwide. Purpose-driven business grow 3 times faster than their peers. Did you hear that? Purpose-driven business grow 3 times faster than others that don't have purpose, just out for the profit. Now, a business is meant to have profits, but as you're always saying, people first, right?
Yes.
People first, right? This is what Mr. Mafara is saying here, and certainly this is what we are saying here on this platform. So practical steps to transformation. Recognize survival mode. Acknowledge areas in life where survival thinking dominates, right? If you think you can't go and learn something new, things like that. And so you ask yourself, where am I merely surviving instead of thriving? Where? Define your purpose. So we use the acronym AIM, AIM, awareness, intention, and meaning to discover purpose. Identify your strengths and values, align actions with a larger goal, and find fulfillment in the process. I'm encouraging each of us to write down one value or passion that we can lean into, just one at a time. But like Malala, what do you feel drawn to do in this world? There's a place for you in that, right? Take action. Start small. Commit to one purpose-aligned habit each week. Just one. Build a support system. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals. There are tons of those. You can find them online. You can find them in your neighborhood, communities, wherever. You can find people who are thinking the same thing as you. Every purpose has place for somebody else to join and magnify or amplify it, right? Invest in continuous learning because leaders are lifelong learners. Inspire others. Empower others through mentorship, through sharing knowledge or community involvement. We can all take action that transitions us from survival to leadership. It is possible and it's very impactful. The choice is yours. And how do we respond to adversity? Not just react. Reacting is an automatic emotional response to a situation, what is called knee-jerk, while responding is a thoughtful, deliberate action. And the ability to choose the way we respond to our individual circumstances is perhaps the single most powerful ability we have as human beings. Yet it is often misunderstood, underappreciated. Some may say this topic see this topic as diminishing the difficult circumstances many people face, but that's not what I'm saying. As I started off by saying, when you're in certain situation, all you can do is think of survival, safety for your children, vulnerable family members, That's all you're thinking about, right? The necessities of life.
Mhm.
But many of us are not living in those conditions, and still we don't do anything that's purpose driven.
Right.
That's true, right?
Right.
So
That's right.
this is what I want to leave us all with, that just think about it and see what it is that we would like to do and why are we waiting? There's always a purpose that needs us, right? And so that is what I have to say about going from survival to leadership. And as you just said, we're all leaders. So that's it now, sister. You can add yours, please.
Yes, I will let our beautiful sister Melanie go ahead. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really love this. We're going to be talking about this again and again.
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
when we consider our mission or what we've been called to do by the Creator, this is exactly what it is. Why are a lot of people surviving instead of thriving? Why? And so, when we have been so endowed and blessed with a lot, why do we have to survive? Why do our children have to just scrape by? Or why does the mother doesn't have to have enough food to feed her children? Why can the parent not pay tuition for these children? When we have more than enough, why are we even just here still trying to build a foundation when this foundation would have been built long time ago? Why? We ask ourselves, then we'll know. Melanie, go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sisters.
You're welcome.
It's funny you're talking about adversity and all that. I made a video yesterday of myself, and I remind myself, Sister Yvonne, you said we are not born leaders. Correction, we are born leaders.
No, I said we're all born leaders. That's
No, not. There's two Sister Yvonne's on there.
Okay,
Sister
sorry.
Mundih. You say we are not born, but we were born leaders. We are
No,
the head.
maybe I didn't speak well. We are all leaders in our various capacities.
Yes.
We are born to be leaders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I made a video. It's in the face of adversity. Every time I look at the eagle, it's on my Facebook page. Yeah. So that confirms what you're saying. I look at the eagle. Every time I look at the eagle, I go one step higher. Sometimes things in life can weigh you down.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I'm going through a process now. I won't explain. I don't want to draw myself, than what it is right now. But I have to think outside the box. Things sometimes can draw you to the desert, in the dry place, And then when I look at the eagle and I see how we talk about that last time, Sister Yvonne, you brought the topic of eagle. The strength of that eagle, how high it flies. It doesn't fly high for a purpose because that's how high it goes. Every time I look at the eagle, I say, yes, I need to be like that big bird because it causes me and it encourages me. It reminds me that I will not stay here down in that dry piece of that little dry land, that desert. I have to talk myself out of, think of something. When you said when challenges sometimes causes us to think of something else to do, and this is what I'm thinking. So the other day we had a meeting on Zoom, and the next day one person helped us very well. So the next day I thanked him, and then he said to me, Mel, do you know what you're doing is coaching, life coaching? I said, I didn't think of it that way. I just thought we were getting together as a group. He said, no. You're bringing people together and then you're encouraging them. This is life coach. I said, you give me a reason to think outside the box and go higher. And I'm thinking of a next step. So yeah, there are times challenges in life when you're being pressed by others or minimized by others. You have to think of a way of escape, not escape to run into a hole, but escape to get out and do something different. People may tell you to stay there, squeeze there. No, you have to think of something different. You may be going through that dryness at the time, and it's okay to shed the tears. It's okay to, but nobody knows. You don't have to bring your problem to the whole world. But in the back, you'll be thinking of something new, something else, And we have to remember, I'll bring the brethren, the accuser of the brethren. We all know who he is.
Yes.
That accuser of brethren knows what we are doing that is right. Well, they did it to Ash, right? So what they come to do is distort and destroy what you're studying, because they see that it is something good, something of a height that you're bringing to the whole globe, and people will benefit. So the accuser comes in, accuser brethren comes in, and they put doubts now. He sows seeds of jealousy, he sows seeds of pride, and he try his best to divert people's focus. And that's what's happening. Some people have left, because they can't wait. Divert them from what they're supposed to be looking at as gratitude towards the future for themselves and humanity. So in that case, we have to think of trying something different. I see sometimes when I look at the African movies, not just movies, but the little children are playing, and you can see them building something from scratch. And it turns out to be something good. Somebody passes by and notice what they're doing, and I'm saying, wow, look at that. They take the red soil and they'll build something, and it turns out to be something good. So, we really have to, God, he gave us all these things inside of us,
He did.
He gave it to us, but we sit on it and we think we cannot do it. We have to unleash it and think of ways. Unless we try, we will never see where we are going. If it, Sister Yvonne, you talk about the two women, which they are very inspiring. You don't have to have any degree to start something. Just think, do something different. You don't have to follow another person to do what they're doing and stagger. Do something different, and then you never know where it's going to lead you. You know,
and you don't have to aim. Sorry, sister, you don't have to aim for the world stage either.
Exactly.
That might come, right? But that's not how you start off. You see a need and you can fill it, and you go with it. And it's the divine redirection that you're talking about. And the eagle. Right. I mean, if you ever read what the eagle goes through to decide whether it's going to live or die, because I think it's after 30 years or whatever it is, the beak has to come out. The claws come out, the feathers come off. It's painful, and they go away and do that, and then they come back. If you read that, it is amazing. But they have a choice to make. They can either die, or they can live again, right? And when I read that, I thought that is what human beings do. Nobody can keep you down if you don't let them. You can just redirect. Go back to your creator, get some divine inspiration, like you're doing, Sister Melanie. And go again, because life is not over until it's over.
Exactly.
And it has purpose and meaning until the very last minute. When I see 90-odd-year-old people just getting degrees from universities, I am so thrilled. Because this is what life is. You live until you die. Seriously.
Yes. Absolutely. The moment you cease to live, that is the moment you begin to die.
You're done. You're done.
And die so many times is more painful than you actually do what you were called to do, and then die once, and you're dying with happiness, smiling that I'm going to live with Heavenly Father because I have emptied out myself. I have done what I was born and I was called to do. So when we talk about this survival to leadership with a purpose is very, very important, because we all have that. Some people don't know how to find it, maybe because of one reason or the other. And we can also help do these things together, because you talk about, relate the story of those two ladies. I see them all over. I see them all over.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. They're everywhere. And we don't have to have a big stage or platform. For me, I'm always the one that has always been the last. I've always been the last, and I always want to be the last. But because of this, I have to be here. I always want to be in the mud, on ground, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Remember?
I know.
And a lot of these people are there. There are so many families, women, I'm talking about women in particular, that are building their communities from scratch.
So many.
From scratch. Melanie, talk about the mud. The mud does a lot of things. Me, myself, I build things out of the mud. You see,
there you go.
Best buildings, houses in the world of my country, in my village.
I know.
Built in a particular way with the skills from the village, which you don't need an education for that. And the houses that stand still more than some of the houses that we live in. And it's beautiful thing. You see these kids molding things. We are even building babies out of the mud and then carrying those babies, and the mud, there is a kind of bacteria there that is helping to heal a lot of things. But when some people see, they say, oh, that's poverty. Oh, that's this. No, it's not.
Yes,
I used to bathe in the rain when I was small, naked in the rain. When the rain comes, oh my goodness,
Yes.
we are here doing things, and those things are there for a reason. So survival mode is often characterized by reactive decision making, just like you said. It's like you have to make a decision at that moment, but a lot of times you're unable to. You talk about the refugee camps. Take, for instance, the refugee camp. They're aspiring to go to school. First of all, they want to eat, but the food is not forthcoming immediately. And some of them, some kids, they can start picking things or even stealing, and then we label them without actually going into detail to find out why are these children doing what they are doing, because there has to be a reason. And then sometimes they beat them to death for no reason, because if you are hungry, you want to eat something. So when you are in a survival mode, there's a lot of things that you have to go through. Reactive decision making, fear-driven actions. You take action because of fear, not because that is what your instinct is telling you to make. And then a focus on immediate needs.
Yep.
The most important, the most priceless things, what? Food, shelter, right? Clothing. These three things are very, very important. Imagine people that have been starving for days without drinking water.
I know.
We're talking about it. And these are the things that we need to focus our attention on, which is why we are here talking about helping to eradicate it, because we cannot do it, but we have to help people with the resources that we have to eliminate illiteracy, hunger, and poverty. But we start with food. Without food, nobody can focus on learning any trade. You can't do business without food. You can't even build wealth, generational wealth, without food.
No.
So
this is the brain.
Yes.
The brain suffers. Yeah.
When
the brain will starve. Yeah.
Acknowledging this state is the first step, the number one step, and it brings awareness to our limiting beliefs. The world has been so much in a state of greed and power that we force things onto children or onto people to believe them instead of taking them to the basic necessities of life. If we all can just do that, the basic necessity to say, if this child is walking along the road and looking at somewhere, and this child is looking so hungry and tattered, there has to be something. If this child is walking barefoot, talking about Mr. Ashman Farah, because that is how unpassing was birthed, through the eyes of a little boy, that it's time that kids are going to school. Why is this boy not going to school? You don't term that child a stubborn child, or maybe it's a violent child or something. No, there has to be something. A lot of time we label these children with things we don't even know. How did they get to this point? What can we do together with these children? These children have even lost trust in us, in society. And so in doing this, we're trying to bring this back, and we have to discover our purpose. Purpose provides a sense of direction and meaning. It connects each and every one of us individuals to something that is greater than ourselves. And we teach it to our children, fostering resilience, that determination, that gives that hope that, you know what, there is hope. I have this purpose, there is hope, but I have to start small, little by little, without comparing, without thinking somebody say, oh, what you're doing is not good. Follow your inner voice, because that is God to you. Follow your authentic self. And sometimes you still fall, but that fall is there for a reason. You don't give up just because you fail and somebody is laughing at you. No, you don't. You say, if you're like me, I say, you know what? I would do it. I don't care if I'm bleeding. That's what I was saying when I was young. And they'll beat me. My grandmother said, say it. I would do
it. That's what Mr. Mifara says about on passive, right? Do it or die. Now, really? I mean, when you say that, where else can you go but do it?
Do it
or die, he says.
Yeah, do it or die. So you may as well just die. What are you? If you're not doing it, just die. Just die then. Because I was
doing it.
If I'm bleeding now, if I don't do it, I'm going to bleed to death, right? And I don't want to die because I have a lot of things to do, you know. That's exactly what Mr. Ashmufara is saying. Either I do it or I die, you know.
But imagine telling or making that so apparent by your life and telling your young ones that from the minute they're born. I'm not talking about the survival part now, because as we said over and over, when you're surviving, you can't think these big lofty thoughts about, you know, purpose, and you just think about, because people, especially as I said, even in the camps, when you have children, it is a very, very vulnerable position, right? Because they're in danger of other people abusing them, whatever. The camps are not what you might think that they can be. They are not good places, obviously.
No, they're not.
Right? So you're thinking you have to, if you have an elderly person, you yourself, you're missing a husband or whatever, the children are up to you. And all you can do is scrounge and make sure they get food and stay warm and clean and safe. That's it. You're not thinking about any world-changing thing. But once you can do that, right? Once you can do that, you have a purpose, because we all came with one. It's just because the world is so topsy-turvy, why not everybody's living with their purpose. That's the only reason. Some people don't want you to think that. They want to think that it's only for certain people, you know, and it's a highfalutin idea, and that everybody came with a purpose.
Yes. And sister, when you talk about you're trying to eat and making sure that this person is clean, this person eats too.
Yeah.
That is already, you're building a world stage right there. Because you to make sure that somebody eats, they are clean, that they are in good health. You are already building a world stage, because it starts right there with you.
Yes. Wherever you are, yes.
So I have just one meal a day, because most often the refugees, that's what they have. One meal a day, and a lot of time it's not even enough. So one meal a day, you can say, you know what, but how about this person that doesn't have? Okay, I'm going to divide it, because when you do that, you're already feeding yourself spiritually with that purpose without you even knowing. And that is what it is, you know. You want to give one grain to this person, then I will eat one grain, then together we can inspire one another, and we begin to build that world stage. It is happening because these kids are there. They were robbed of their heritage and their identity, and they are living in refugee camp because of things that is not of their own making. And we see that every day in our society. So when we discovering our purpose often involves self-reflection, and self-reflection is a lot of things. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? How people that have my parents, they've brought me to this stage, this level. What can I do? What can I do for my parents? Okay, the teacher taught me. Okay, somebody helped me to solve a math problem. These are basic things. We've been trained to always say, oh, this big thing, this big. No, it's not. It's not this big thing. It is this little thing here. Okay, we are here in one global movement. One global movement is not for Mundih. It's not for Sister Yvonne. It's not for Melanie. One global movement is for all of us, for all our children. It's just the same thing Mr. Ashmufara did. We think, oh, Mr. Ashmufara did that. No. He has brought this world family so that helping you to invest in your own purpose. You build that platform beginning from your home. If you don't do that, how else are you going to do it? You imagine getting up in the morning, you didn't even help your child to eat. Imagine you didn't even help your spouse or your friend or somebody to eat. What world stage are you going to be building out there without doing it in your home? What world stage? So it doesn't work. So this kind of discovering your purpose often involves self-reflection. Always sit and think, what have I done today to myself that is going to help me to also do it to another person? Identifying personal values. What are your values? The values that you were born with, not just the one that your parents taught you, but they have to teach us these values, because we were created with values from the one that created the whole world. And those values are there that cannot be changed. They are unshakable, they are unbreakable, they are unmovable. They are there. We just have to keep adding on there and using it to build what we are building. You hear Mr. Ashmufara said, the man above is speaking to me. I said, speaking to me, they say, are you a witch? Yes, I am. Okay. You know, so it's more. Transitioning requires cultivating. You don't just transition from survival to leadership. You have to cultivate, doing the groundwork, doing the really doing it according to divine intervention, self-confidence. You have to have We were born beautiful beings. Melanie
We were.
has different routes. You have a different route. I have a different route, but we are all doing the same thing. We are all doing
Yeah.
the same thing. We have
Yeah.
to support the route. We support one another instead of condemning to say, oh, you have to do it this way. You have to do. No, no. You don't know her background. You don't
You
know the
don't.
way that she was brought. You don't know what
Don't.
she has survived. So we have to put these things. So self-confident through small wins. When you win something, you say, yeah, look at us. We are here today speaking. When we get off this guy, we say, thank God we did it. We did it
Yes.
and we pat ourselves because what? Because we are smart. We have greatness within us.
We
And
do.
our children too are. Because I
Yes.
don't care if I make a mistake. I'm still smart, okay? I'm still smart. And with this is what we need to teach our children. So school, right?
No, seriously, we are so in a good place to help one another, and especially to set good examples for our children. It just takes doing it, right? And being authentic and just transparent, because transforming is not an overnight leap. You don't get up one morning and you've transformed neither yourself nor the world or whatever your aim is. It's as you say, it is those steps consistently towards a purpose, right? A focus. And everybody can do something like that. If you're willing to start small and intentionally, right? Not just because you want to jump to the world stage. That is a big thing that I think is a big problem. People are seeing what is the fastest way I can get promoted or can get noticed. We didn't come here to get noticed. We came here to do something for one another. We're servants of one another. That is why we're here. And the thing is, when you do that, you will get noticed because you're the missing piece. You know what I mean? Malala, she was a missing piece for what she has done. This lady I talked about here, she's come and gone. She died at 71. So she had a good life, I guess. But she didn't start off big. She did something in the community, a community movement. And then it became a world international movement. And she won a Nobel Peace Prize. Do you think she sat down and said, I'm going to win a Nobel? She did not say that. She did what she could right there in her community, grassroots. And it got noticed and got bigger and bigger. And now she's the first African woman to have won the Nobel Peace Prize. That is not what she set out to do, though.
No.
She set out to do what was in her heart, her purpose. And we can all
quietly. Don't be saying, look at me, look at me, look at me.
No.
There was a way I would disappear off the stage because I spent most of my younger years disappearing. Nobody knew that as anybody existed, like only the bush and the animals knew that, So it's not about talking, oh, look at me here, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that. It's not about titles. It's not about none of those things. It's not about driving the best car. It's not about living in the best house. No, if you have a roof over your head, thank God. Thank God for that roof over your head. If you have food to eat, thank God. Have you ever stepped out to question the person that has not eaten or the person that is living in the cold? We don't question those people. We need to be interviewing those people. You will hear their side of the story. Then you will know we can never pass judgment on people, and they're surviving. And we can help them to not just survive, but to thrive and to be leaders, because every one of us is born with the spirit of leadership. We have it. We just have to activate it and keep doing what we're doing. And activating it is serving humanity, being of service to humanity. I always say this. It's not your certification or your degrees and everything that matters. It's your character, the content of your character.
Yeah. Sorry, when saying so, that might help, right? Because doctors and so on and so forth, we want them to be certified. We want them to whatever it is. But that's their calling. But if you're not called to be a doctor or whatever, you don't need to go there. I'm thinking about Miss Rosemary there. She's a hairstylist. And many people might think, what's the big deal about that? But let me tell you something.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
A big deal. Okay?
One of the biggest deals, okay?
She's serving her community, setting example, and she has that skill to make people look beautiful. Like, really? Isn't that a great thing?
But the thing is, when you are purpose-driven and you focus, you put your eyes on the ball, things that will begin to happen to you and you do them, you action them out, people would think that, oh, she is so highly educated. Oh, she has a lot of money. How did she have that money? by going down, starting from the ground up, little by little, and failing and still doing it and being determined to do it. Look at what Mr. Ashbufar is doing. A lot of us would have quit. Okay, Melanie just mentioned, or you mentioned that a lot of people have left on passive. Yes, true. Yep. The few of us who are still here, there are very few. I'm telling you, a lot have left.
I know what you mean when you say a very few. There are numbers are still large, but the attitude, the feeling, the whatever they have, it's not there. It's not the true thing of what he's aiming for. Because apart from I have no doubt that he will eventually bring these products.
Of course.
Profits, right? But that's not really the only thing that he wants. Because from the very beginning, he was always talking about our mindset and that this is a vehicle for world transformation, right? To lift up humanity. He always said that. I think we've forgotten that's what he said. Yes. And if we could have done it another way, he probably wouldn't go after the money. But we know that on the earth, we need money, hard cash, to make the changes we want to see. And that's, I think, is why he decided to go the AI way, because he knows that that's what's trending. He's a smart man, right?
Very smart. Right.
But his focus is on humanity.
Yes.
Right? It's not making a big bank account. He doesn't want to be another, whatever those names are. I won't even bother to call them. He's not looking for, how many millions I've made this year. He's not looking for that at all.
He's a brother. He's looking for brother. He says, I'm a brother.
He's a brother. He's looking for us to use
your brother.
Yes, to find our own little purposes that we have, or big purposes, and let on passive facilitate that. That is what a purpose-driven life is all about.
Yep.
So and people who can't get that, I'm very sorry.
Take it, this dream, into your little endeavors and your little purposes. He said that several times. Take it and do it so that we'll become larger. We'll become larger. And I just pray and that we all can continue to do that and support that vision in our own different endeavors. So thank you so much for this beautiful topic here. And we have Sayo Square Year. How are you, sister? Thank you so much for being here today. We highly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yes. And greetings, Queen Sayo. Welcome here. You're here with us. Make sure everybody that is new, if you can subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you will not miss out on new content and for when we go live, because we are here supporting children, young people, and women. Thank you. And greetings and welcome everyone to another dynamic topic on One Global Movement platform. We appreciate you, certainly. And this is our Facebook page link. If you want to like it and follow, this will be helping some resources to come our way so that we can continue to do what we are doing here. Thank you so much for putting that there.
Thank you.
And of course, this is a topic. Today's topic is from survival to leadership, transforming lives through purpose-driven living. Always very beautiful. Anything we do, it is this. This is exactly what it is.
It is.
And hello, David. How are you? Thank you so much, brother, for being with us here today. We highly appreciate you. We miss you here, but we know that you're doing great things too when you're not here. So thank you so much. And of course, Ballyhoo Pushpin Media, Sister Sharon, the children's women mentor, is here. Thank you so much, Sister Sharon, for everything that you're doing to empower children worldwide. And of course, Mr. Barilla, the managing director, is here and saying hello to everyone. I missed yesterday, but watch later. I had a doctor's appointment. I'm back today and welcoming you all to One Global Movement. Yes, you miss it. It's always there on YouTube, John. We thank God for the people that created that YouTube space so that we can always go there and rewatch. So thank you. Feel free to greet, comment, and express yourself here in the chat. Yes. And of course, the dancing queen, Nancy, is here. How are you, Nancy? Thank you so much for supporting. I know what you're doing. I see it. It looks like you're just waiting for me to post or something. And sometimes I'm like, I'm going to see what she's going to do. She's right on there. I'm like, wow, how fast can you do that? So, thank you so much for supporting children. We appreciate you. And we have Hamida. How are you? Happy New Year. We haven't said Happy New Year to you. And thank God you're here today. How are you and the family? Thank you so much for being that support that we need here for women and children. And oh my goodness, Katik, Santra, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year to you and family as well. We appreciate you. And greetings, John Barilla. I'm glad you are with us, and I hope your doctor's appointment went well and all is well with you. I'm really happy that you're taking good care of yourself, John. Always consulting the doctor. That is very wonderful.
Yes.
We all should do that. If we don't have our health, we will not have any wealth. We
That's
ask
true.
the cash from Samufare. If you don't have that health, you're not going to have it. I'm going to have my health so I can have everything, okay? So I can
There
share
you
it with
go.
children. Hello to Nancy, of course, from the managing director. Thank you. And thank you, John, for really taking that time to welcome everyone uniquely. Thank you so much. And it says, three watching, come on, folk, let's spread the word, especially about our live stream days. Wednesday and Friday, other days are video, so folks can watch whenever, but I want more here on live. Thank you so much. And sometimes people, they are also busy with other things too. They will always come when they are ready. Thank you so much, John, for encouraging them. And hello from Ballyhoo Pushpin Media to all of us here. Thank you so much, Sister Sharon. And David is just also saying hello to everyone, especially. My opinions tend to be
too controversial.
No, they're not. Controversial things are very good, so we can unravel everything, right?
Exactly. We don't want to have just one consensus. Please share your thoughts.
It's not controversial. Let's bring everything. That's why we need everybody's opinion here, so that the children pick what resonates with them, not just pushing one thing onto the child.
Exactly. No, so long as it's respectful, go ahead, David. Please share.
Happy birthday, everyone who is celebrating their birthday today. Thank you so much.
Birthday, yes.
We hear that from you. Thank you. With lots of gifts. And if we have a purpose, our lives are more fulfilled. They are just better. We are survivors, but more, we are leaders to help to educate our youth, young girls, and don't forget about the young boys.
We won't, John.
No, we're not forgetting, John. We can't do one without the other. Hello, Brother Levy. How are you? Thank you so much. Greetings, my wonderful sisters and brothers of #One Global Movement, where we speak with heart. Certainly. Special greetings to you there. And David, you cannot ever change anyone. You can only suggest and try to inspire them to make the change. We control nobody other than ourselves. Yeah, that is the right thing. You don't.
That is not controversial. That is not controversial at all. It's fact.
That is the fact, and it is true. If you're trying to change somebody without changing yourself, if you want somebody to change yourself first towards that person. And then you must have taught that person how to change. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time having the headaches for no reason. If somebody doesn't want to change, it doesn't mean that they cannot change. Do you know their mental status? Do you know their background? Do you know what they've gone through? Do you know what they are doing presently that they might not want to listen to what you're telling them? Let them be themselves first before you can want them to change. Not even wanting, change yourself. If they're doing something that you think is not okay, change yourself or your opinion towards that thing, and then you must have really done yourself a favor. It's not controversial, David. That is the truth, the fact.
It is absolutely. I've always maintained that you can't be changing people. Grown people, you don't. Even if they pretend to change, they don't really change. So
let people be themselves.
Yes, let people be themselves. Absolutely.
That's why we're talking about values. We are talking about the still small voice within you. We're talking about authenticity. You cannot do this. You can't change people. We know that even with us here in Non-Passive, some people are trying to, these people go here, don't go here, do this. Those things don't work. When you're doing that, you're trying to stifle a child's thought process. That is not. We can do it because we're adults and you know what to do. But what about children? We can't. Children, when you start doing that, putting that into them, the children will grow up. They're trying to get a headway in life, trying to do the thing the way that they envision it the way that it was put in them, they can't do it. What happens? They have emotional disturbances, they resort to violence, they resort to other things, and then we start labeling these children when we cause them to do those things, you know. So even us parents, you cannot push your own opinion onto your child.
No, you cannot.
Because if you are a parent, you should have studied to know that this is what this child loves, and just put the resources around this child, train them the way they should go. They will pick their own path using the resources that we've created for them. That is very important, David. So thank you so much for that. You cannot ever.
And it makes people become very inauthentic, doesn't it? Because they pretend one thing, they're hypocrites for one thing.
Yes.
Like we see that all the time with people are saying one thing and doing another thing.
The other. And you can't,
I mean, really, that is so.
You can't even hide it. When you are thinking this and you are doing other, your voice is saying one thing, but your action is the other. You can never hide these things. There's no way you can hide it. People will not always, and I advise people, don't talk about it. Just go and do the right thing instead of saying, oh, see, you're talking this, but you're doing one thing. Human behavior, you can't mask human behavior. There's no way we can mask that behavior at all.
No,
and all the hashtags in the world.
Wow. That's a lot of hashtags there. Thank you.
Hashtag survival for humanity. I want to read those ones. And hashtag unpassive, hashtag Ashmufare. Thank you so much, John.
Yes.
And spread. John says, hashtag spread the word. Hashtag mission statement. Hashtag survivor. Yes. Thank you so much, John. Those are beautiful hashtags. Now you and Brother Levy are doing something there that I want to copy. I lived my adult life in survival mode. I'm here to tell you it's no way to live. Yes, it's no way to live. We get out of it. That's why we become leaders with a purpose, and we start transforming our lives and the lives of our family and others.
Yeah.
Hello, Cheryl Bess. Happy New Year. If we haven't seen you, thank you so much for joining us here today. And we're going to say Happy New Year until the end of the month. Can you believe it? January is almost over.
I know.
I'm pretty sure John Barilla can attest to it as an actor. That's a damn tough road to hoe.
David.
Don't say yes, it is. But I have managed to survive when others gave up over the years. Thank you, John. Never gave up. Thank you so much. Otherwise, I would not have met you, right? I'm glad you
exactly.
didn't give up. And Sir Damandra Raval, how are you? Happy New Year. And thank you so much for coming again today. We highly appreciate you for supporting this family here, children, women, and young people. We are growing 7 watching now. Don't anyone leave. They're not leaving, John. And they can only leave when there is something to do. It's okay. Thank you. They are always more thumbs up than watchers. I want thumbs up and people watching from beginning to the end, especially our live stream. Thank you so much, John. And let's go down here. We have our brother, Mamadou Jallo. If we haven't seen you here, Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you so much. Hello, Sister Yvonne, Sister Mel, Dr. Yvonne, and all my beloved global ambassadors. Thank you for everything you've done and still doing for our beloved children. God bless you all. Thanks for that consistency. Thank you so much. And yes, special greetings there for you. And say it louder, Sister Yvonne. He is our brother and friend with a golden heart. He is. That is Mr. Ashmufare. Okay, Mr. Ashmufare. Yes. And we have Hapul Rai. Welcome here, sir. If you're new here, we welcome you into this family. We are here for women and children. Thank you so much. Do well to subscribe and share so that we can let the world know what we are doing here and so that we can do it together. Thank you. We have a pretty, I'm not going to mistake you today, pretty. How are you? It's 12, baby. It's 12. She's counting too, John, just so you know. As well. And special greetings to Hapul, sir. We are pleased to have you come early if you can. Maybe listen to this live stream after it's finished today. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
John.
And hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag Unpassive will give and help all children in the world to make this world a better place for all mankind. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. And it says Happy Chinese New Year. Really? Thank you for reminding us. I didn't know that. Happy Chinese New Year to all of our brothers and sisters from China. We highly appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh boy, yes, pretty. 12 now.
12.
We are growing. We need to have more from the beginning, especially on the live, but folks can also watch replays of the live. Yes, certainly true. And we are growing, certainly. And that is the essence of it. And we have the whether it is 10 or 12, they are the solid ones that are in here for the purpose of One Global Movement, which is what we want. Thank you so much, John.
A minute, sister. Step away.
Okay, let's go here now again. This is a link here. Finally, again, for those of you, and you can share this link to help, because if we are helping children, we need to share these things. And so that, Vermelish Kuma. Ah, wow. Vermelish Kuma is here. Okay, so let us share this link and help people to like it and follow. And thank you guys so much. We'll meet again here on Friday and Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays will be pre-recorded and put on YouTube so that we can focus on other things. And let us keep supporting Mr. Ash Mufara and encouraging him through what we do. We cannot just talk. Through what we do, that is living our purpose. That is the encouragement that Mr. Ash Mufara really needs, because he is doing exactly the same thing. So thank you guys so much for this. And if anything, I will let if Melanie or Sister Yvonne, if you have anything, that's fine. Otherwise, Sister Yvonne, you can give your closing remarks.
Sister Melanie, you have something to add?
Yeah, I just maybe they have the idea already regarding children. So I talk about the red clay in Africa, Sister Yvonne. You know that already because you were from there, right?
Yes.
But I love the color of the clay. I know the children play with it and do other things, but you know that coal pot we have, that fans, they made it so modern and they're selling it so expensive. They can take that same red clay and make those pots out of them, the coal pots.
They're doing it. I know that we cook in some of those pots. They're doing it. They're using it, and some of that ground, if you scrape it from the wall or somewhere, pregnant women. I'm not saying somebody should go and do it, but they do it because they are from that area and it works for them. When women are pregnant, we throw up or we are nauseated. They use it. That is it tastes so good. I have eaten it too.
Because it has minerals in it.
Yes, I've eaten it. They sent it to me when I was pregnant, and then I'll be eating it.
Yeah. So I'm saying the children, I know they are doing the coal pot, but we are teaching children to fish.
Yes.
So that's something that we can incorporate in what we are doing, the planting, the chicken thing. Let them know how to do the pots from young, the coal pots.
Oh,
the coal pots with the fire, right?
Yes. Thank you so much for putting that idea. I'll pass it on to the two people that are helping with there are two people now, Wasi, and so I'll pass it on to them. Thank you so much for thinking like that. Thank you.
Yeah, and that can be a production that can go overseas. It can result to a production that can go overseas, because people overseas are always looking for new things from the outside, international.
Yes.
So incorporating all these things, you never know how far you can land them, right?
Oh, that is a beautiful idea.
Yeah,
it is.
Thank you so much.
She's really thinking of outside the box. She's running with that idea.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good for you. To be innovative.
Yes. Okay.
So I'll just close with this quote. I always like this one as well. It's by Pablo Picasso, and it says, "The meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away." So I know that we all have a reason for being given life. Let's follow, and fulfill that purpose. And it starts with taking one actionable step towards it today. Just one step. There's a book, it's written by Andrew Womack. He's a religious Christian teacher, but the book has very practical advice. And it helps you step by step how to tune into your inner knowing. That's what I'm going to call that. And help you find, because we all I know that, and you know that, sister, and you know that, Melanie. Sister Melanie, we all have something that we are meant to give. We are.
Yes.
So that book is called, it's by the same name, Find, Follow, and Fulfill Your Purpose. But there are other resources like community initiatives and books and workshops. So from survival to leadership, your journey can transform not only your own life, but also the lives of those around you, because you inspire. Leaders inspire. That's what we do. We inspire others to find their purpose. They don't have to follow yours. So let's step forward with purpose and lead with impact. And remember that our children are always watching and copying what we do. So let us model lives that are worthy of them imitating. Amen.
Yes. Thank you. Amen. Let us really be those role models of a kind of life that it's worthy for them to imitate. And they can only learn from us. Nobody else. Who else? So thank you guys so much for being here. We love you all. And until Friday, you stay blessed, okay?
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Yes.